gorgeous afternoon. Thanks, Alana. I am with my nieces. I'm with my dog. She's actually looking pretty good today. I'm pretty happy about it. Let's get down there, Karma. Oh, can we get there? Yeah. Karma, she's got a little limp, but it's not crazy. So, where have I been this morning? Let me tell you, I was at the Arc to Midnight show, and if you saw, I did the radio show. I think Caravan to Midnight. I'm not sure. It's either Arc or Caravan. They're two different things by the same guy, John B. Wells. And so we did the radio show from like 11 to midnight on Saturday, and I just did his private web program, which was pretty awesome. And I'm not sure if it's out yet, but yesterday I did an entire Epstein broadcast with the Tinfoil Hat crew. 57 people in, 11 likes. Let's thumbs this up and get it out here. So what did I talk about? Oh, I got you. Gotta wait for the girls. Yeah, no, I'm not trying to walk too fast, girls. Here, get her out of the grass, though.
Come here, baby.
Come on, baby. Let's go.
I don't want to tug her.
No, don't tug her. Definitely not. So anyway, Tinfoil Hat went really, really well. Not that Caravan to Midnight didn't. In fact, John and I were supposed to talk Epstein most of the time. Maybe we ended up talking 20% Epstein in about a hour to minute conversation. What did we talk about? Well, we talked about the state of the world today. We talked about the technopoly. We talked about deep fake technology. We talked about the prophetic movie, The Running Man, and so much more. We even talked a little bit mass shooting stuff. But a lot of the things that encompass us today, a lot of the really, really important issues. So I'm always trying to find a bigger audience, a different audience, one that may not be aware of this information. Because isn't that what this is all about? Sharing the information with one another, creating a better world, coming together. You know, one of the things John talked about with me is, Jason, with all this negativity and all this technology and this push towards, you know, a tyrannical police state, let's be honest, a communist system control grid, whatever you want to talk about, the New World Order, if you will. How do we fight back? How do we stop it? How do we push forward? And I say, John, here's the deal. You know, we have to figure out a way to come together, all right? It's not about right or left, and I know I say it all the time, it's about right and wrong, but what does the media love to focus on? Well, it's real simple. The media absolutely 100% loves to focus on division and violence. What do I mean? What were all the headlines on the news and in your Twitter feed and in Facebook the last few days that were politically related? Well, it was Portland. It's the Patriot Prayer Group versus Antifa. And I want to talk about Antifa for a minute. Okay? Number one, I do not endorse Antifa. That should be a given. Number two, I don't endorse violence. That should be a given. But what does the media constantly play up? We'll go down this and then we'll come around, okay, girls? They play into that violence. Sam Haslam having a best of Burmese evening tonight suggestions. I'd go check out my Camelot video. My JFK, the Keys to Camelot video. If you want to know more about the actual facts behind the JFK assassination and how Oswald himself was connected to both the FBI and the CIA, it's a must watch. So please watch that one. Let's get back to the Antifa talk. I see a lot of people in the so-called alternative media or supposed patriots or info warriors out there saying they want the president to label Antifa as a terrorist group. There couldn't be anything more dumb, okay? There couldn't be anything more horrific and more nonsensical in my point of view. Why? We should charge criminals for criminal behavior, period. If you are hitting somebody with a baton, you should go to jail. If you are macing somebody, you should go to jail. If you steal somebody's property, you should go to jail. You should not designate that group a terrorist group and then enable more groups to progressively be categorized as terrorist groups as well. There will be a domino effect, okay? Do you see how that works? And it turns my stomach when the so-called leaders in the alternative media are like, they're a terrorist group. They need to be treated as such. They got to be designated. We don't need to be making citizens of the United States of America terrorists, all right? If they're criminals, we charge them with crimes. We don't label them a group that has no rights. And as you see the progression of what law enforcement wants, they'd like to put a lot of people in that group, not just Antifa, but people that question false flag events, people that talk about globalism and a new world order, people that talk about Zionism. And unfortunately, guys, if you haven't noticed, a lot of my videos deal with those very events. Can't question an incident, can't question a false flag, that's not allowed anymore. And I'd like to say this, we need less profiling of people, of individuals, through this big data society that we live in. Because everything you do on your magic little device, in your pocket, on your office computer, on your tablet or laptop, is being tracked, traced, and databased. And they are building an actual profile on you. It's not just about consumerism, it's about behavior. That type of data is now become more valuable than just about anything. Well, slow down. I'm sorry. Yeah, we're slowing it down a little bit. All right, honey. You still got that from the water park, huh?
Yeah, I have mine too.
Cool. I'm glad that we kept it. So with that being said, I think that we need less profiling. We need less data collection, because that is the reality of the situation. What's the push for? More data collection, more sharing of your information. And why is that? Because they want you to move towards a China-like social credit score society in which everything you do now has a market value. That's the truth. So again, guys, it's real dangerous when you start labeling groups terrorists and demanding that they be labeled as such. I think that you are really screaming and crying out for your own eventual enslavement when things like that happen. How are we doing back there? Good. Oh, so guys, I'm gonna start cranking out the videos for the day. I was supposed to have one of the great writers over at the Mind Unleashed on today about Epstein. That's been pushed back until tomorrow. So we're gonna be doing a big Epstein update with one of the great Emma, and I forget her last name, but her stuff gets also reposted over at Activist Post, and she's done some really good articles. So we're gonna have her on. We are still waiting for Whitney Webb to finish up her 4-part series on Epstein, and once she does that, we should still be setting up the debate between her and Gabe Hoffman of An Open Secret. And by the way, An Open Secret putting out some pretty good tweets. You've seen some retweets of mine today, including one on former House Speaker Dennis Hassard, a serial child predator. Somebody who was doing this when he was a gym teacher and a wrestling coach, and somehow made himself into the upper echelons of our political society. That should scare everybody. He was the 3rd heartbeat away from the presidency, okay? And do you think a man with more and more power would stop doing that to people? Oh, I see something about Nicole Junkerman here. Just so everybody knows, I did have Johnny Vedmore on 4 or 5 weeks ago, maybe a little bit longer, about Nicole Junkerman, the IDF, Carbine, Ehud Barak, and those connections. It was a really interesting program. And Mr. Vedmore, I retweeted it yesterday, says that he has finally found the location that Nicole Junkerman and Jeffrey Epstein traveled to alone together on one of those flights. He got it through the manifest, and what they were doing. And he says it's a really juicy story. So I promise you, as soon as Vedmore publishes that story, I'm going to be deep into it, and we're going to have him on so that we can get to the bottom of that Carbine connection. And guys, we got 68 thumbs up, 180 watching. Let's thumbs this up before the video ends. And with that being said, I'm doing 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 videos a day. Like I said, be on the lookout for my Caravan and Ark to Midnight appearances, as well as the Tinfoil Hat podcast emergency Epstein broadcast that should be dropping today. I'm going to be doing an Epstein update. I'm also going to be doing a video on Lord Mountbatten, the elitist and viceroy who was the mentor to Prince Charles, who had a penchant for young boys. Long-time listener, finally have super chat set up. Keep it up, Jason. Thank you, Lucky Dog. We appreciate that, and I appreciate all of you. With that being said, I'm going to get out of here, and I will see you all on the flip side.